Using PL in my classroom has really changed the way that I am able to address each student's particular need. My students that need maybe a little bit extra time with a particular concept can have that time, and I can really work with them and make sure that they're able to grasp each concept. We don't have to kind of rush through something and play catch up later. They're able to really take their time and learn it fully. On the flip side of that, any student that catches on to something maybe a little bit more quickly or already has some background knowledge is able to advance through that area more quickly, and they're able to use the concepts they've learned in a more rigorous way. Additionally, using PL in my classroom has helped me really get to know my students' needs. I feel like I know them a lot better because every day I'm looking really closely at what each particular student is able to do, what they're meeting, what they still need help with, and they're also able to recognize their own needs. I have students that will come up to me and say, hey, I just really need you to help me get started on this activity, or they'll come up to me and say, I have no idea what I'm doing at all. I really need a lot of help. So they're evaluating their own progress each and every day. They reflect on their progress each and every day, and they're able to tell me what I can do to help them, and that's a really cool thing to see as a teacher.
I really like personalized learning because it has truly inspired my students. It got them more involved. They're feeling like they're vested in what they're learning, and to me, it builds their confidence because they're doing things that they feel comfortable doing, that they have a choice in, and I think that's why personalized learning is really important and helpful.
Implementing positive learning in my classroom has had a positive effect on my students' mindsets and my teaching. We start our day every morning with a morning meeting, and it's during that meeting that the students realize that they are important and everything they do in life impacts others. Personalized learning, I found, has also enabled them to take ownership of their learning, think creatively, and collaborate with others to achieve their learning goals. The excitement that I see my students have as they walk through the classroom door every morning, excited to learn and excited to do their work, proves to me that personalized learning can have a positive impact on any classroom.
One of the things that I really enjoy about personalized learning is it really gives students an opportunity to take advantage of their own personal learning experiences. I've been really trying to work on teaching my students how to be held accountable for their own learning experiences, and personalized learning does just that. I have been on a trial and error with personalized learning. I was totally against it in the beginning, but I am all on board now. I like that students have choice. I like that they are able to choose the activities that they like to do to show that they've mastered standards. And I also like that they have some flexibility as to where to start, what to do in different activities that they are doing on their current playlist. Many of my students are at different places, so it gives me an opportunity to actually really reach them where they are at their level. And it also helps grow students who are kind of those higher achievers and they need a little extra push.
Personalized learning has been an amazing process. As a teacher, I've always carried the responsibility of my students' learning, and it was always a struggle trying to motivate elementary students to care about their work and their grades. They lack the ability to see big picture and the value in what they were doing. Implementing PL has allowed me to empower my students to make choices about their learning, ability to set goals for themselves based on their own data, track their progress towards those goals, and they have a sense of ownership and pride when they meet their goals. My classroom is no longer teacher-centered, it's student-centered. They're leading their small groups and their one-on-one conferences, and they're deciding which mini lessons are right for them. It's been an amazing transformation, both as an educator and for my scholars. I now understand the true meaning of meeting students on their level.
So PL for me as a teacher has been an amazing experience. It's probably been one of the most reflective processes I've ever been through as an educator. I find that I spend a lot of time thinking about my lessons and reflecting on what works and what doesn't work, just like the students are reflecting on data and the different strategies they're using in the classroom and their strengths and how to build on those. I find that I do that as a teacher also now, more so than I ever have before, and it's been amazing. I still feel like I'm in the process. I don't think I'll ever not be in the PL process. I think that's part of it, is that
you never get to an end. It's always continuous. So I'm not there yet. And then for my students, I've just seen them grow and take on ownership, and it's been a beautiful process to watch.
Personalized learning has caused me to rethink my approach to curriculum, instruction, and assessment. Personalized learning helped me to take a look at how students learn best with providing options for teachers to truly meet the needs of every student in their classroom. As an instructional coach, personalized learning walkthroughs increase the effectiveness of observation, feedback, and coaching time. The process gives us accountable talk where teachers are encouraged to choose their own just right action steps. My responsibility as a personalized learning coach is to be clear, to be consistent, to build capacity, and continue to grow and stretch myself along with all of my teachers. Thank you.
I've been teaching for 12 years, and I've always been an outside-of-the-box kind of teacher. We have really done a lot with morning meeting this year. I felt it was really important that before we teach them their multiplication facts, that we teach them how to be kind, how to sit with that kid that doesn't have any friends, how to be respectful to each other, how to problem solve, because without that, there's really not going to be any learning taking place. And as far as planning goes, I feel like I'm putting more time into planning things, but they're more meaningful. And at the end of the day, when I'm finished with everything, I can kind of sit back and kind of watch the magic happen and not feel disorganized or feel like no one's listening to me or stressed by the end of the day. It's kind of its own well-oiled machine.
Since starting personalized learning, I've learned the true importance of developing the whole child. As teachers, we are constantly hearing that we need to teach the whole child, but personalized learning gives you the structure and the strategies in order to do so. In my class, 2 strategies that we use to help develop student ownership, agency, and motivation are goal setting and student reflection. At the beginning of the year, I had to help my students and sort of hold their hand as they set goals and learned when they've met them. But now as we move in towards the end of the year, students are setting their own goals and get really excited when they learn that they met them. My favorite part of personalized learning are playlists and playways. In my class, we use playways. Not only are they fun to make as a teacher, but they also give students choice and the ability to work at their own pace. If I could sum up personalized learning in 3 words, it would say ownership, agency, and motivation. I love personalized learning, and I can't wait to experience and learn more with you.
Hey, so what personalized learning means to me in my classroom is that I get to focus on kids and meet them where they're at. I get to do things like help them with data notebooks. I get to help them track their own things. I get to do things like escape rooms and breakouts that gets them engaged and excited about the activities. And that's what I love about personalized learning and teaching my content.
I feel that PL has truly made me a better teacher. Within 5 years of teaching, I feel like I know my students better than I ever have on both an academic level, but also on a personal level. I feel that building the whole child is really, really important, and making sure that you're building those relationships, you're building that classroom community, and making sure that it's all encompassed. So it's not just in a certain time of your classroom, but it's throughout the entire day. With pathways and playlists, I feel like I know my students right away who get it. Those students who might need a different structure of a lesson or who need another lesson. Morning meeting and growth mindset, I feel like we can really instill some of those important qualities into those kids, especially the learner profiles that follow them really throughout the rest of their life. And if we instill them in them now, then they're going to be more successful throughout the rest of their lives.
PL has had a really great impact on my personal experience in the classroom as well as professional with my students, because it allows you to be really creative and innovative. It was a little bit of a rocky start in the beginning because a lot of teachers like a guide, really like to know what to do and when to do it, but PL is more geared towards what your students need, and I like that you're able to collaborate with one another and see what's working for them and what's not working, and you're able to focus more on your students' needs and not necessarily the classroom as a whole.
Personalized learning has created an environment where more students feel confident and challenged at the same time. My students are engaged as well as inquisitive towards content and real-world connections. As an educator, it has given me deeper understanding of students and their needs.